G'day, everybody. It can be very difficult to stay composed after a loss like that. So what do you say? Welcome to the round 15 FanCams. It's, I'm gutted. I'm absolutely gutted. What I want to do here is for as many of you to have a chat with me about it because it's different things and it's the same story over and over again. Please have your say. Feel free to say whatever you like. Just be mindful of things. Um, of being a little respectful, just don't be too personal. Um, yeah, I can see the audio is no good, is it? All right.
One sec. Is that better? Is that better? Just let me know. Mic is no good. Okay. Sounds a little bit better right now. Better? Okay, that's better. Nothing's fucking working tonight. Yeah, look, we're going to put the link in. We're going to put the link in the comments shortly. Shad's going to do it. But yeah, as I said, come and have your say. Unfortunately, we go down again. You know, the effort and all of that, all good in the first few quarters. But fuck me. Once the game gets into that tough situation where someone needs to just take some control, we just shit the bed. You know, it's the same thing. You know, there was about 8 minutes to go and the Giants were up by 2 goals, and I'm struggling. I'm struggling to fathom that. It's so raw after the game. So yeah, you guys are going to have to help me out. I'm going to send the link out now. Shad, if you can also send it as well. I'm going to try and get Dan in. I think he's waiting as well. So yeah, the link will be in the comments. Feel free. Basically, what will happen is hit the link. You'll go to a green room. Just please be patient because there'll be a lot of people waiting. I'll try and get through as many people as possible. But we're going to need a lot of therapy for that. It's almost numbing, you know, because it happens every fucking week. It's, you know, it's literally the same story. It really is. A lot of you are saying that, you know, it's the same story week in and week out. And, you know, effort and all of that, and the boys tried, it's good. But, I mean, we're here to win games of football for me. I don't want to make this too much about what I think, because the purpose of this is for you guys to jump in and have your say. I'll do mine. I'll do mine tomorrow. But, yeah, look, what do you say? Sava, we are the biggest chokers. Could lead by 500 points at 3/4 time and still lose. Oh, gosh. Eric Gelato, no one will stand up. David Taylor, send a link to David Teague. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Is it? It's such a big question, what we have to do to get right, what we have to do to fix this and get it right. It's such a massive question. It's so important because we're going to see another group go through these losing culture, these losing habits. We're going to see that again. So, you know, what can I say? What can I say? Hit the link in the chat. Come and have a chat with me. Let me know what you think. A lot of you are going to have a lot of serious things to say. And sometimes you need to say this. Sometimes the harsh realities need to be spoken because we fucking have to watch that. We invest our time into that, you know, and we get told that we're the lifeblood of the club and all of that. But there's no winners. There's not enough winning. Winning is what matters. This is professional sport. Yeah. This is professional sport. This is what it's all about. So where is Rocco? Yeah. Rocco, if you're out there watching, mate, I'd love to hear from you. Josh Lofts, we're mentally weak. Natasha Zonta, hello, Natasha. McGovern, who we attack but don't deliver. We're not a final side. We won't be for a long time. We need big changes. Adrian Salerno, that effort kills us in the guts. Yeah, it's, what can you say? What can you say? Shad, bring someone in, please, mate. Yeah, bring someone in because I'm sick of hearing my own voice.
Terry.
Hey, how you doing, mate?
You know, I'm not surprised. I'm really disappointed. I'm not surprised at all, though.
Yeah, it's become something, unfortunately, that we just get used to almost. Like I just mentioned, as soon as the Giants kick a couple in a row in that fourth, you just feel it. I feel it as a supporter. Okay, are they going to be able to get that next one? And we just weren't, mate. How did you see the game?
Can I say one thing? Murphy was absolutely amazing. So Murphy haters can just get fucked. He was great. He was best probably for us.
Yeah, he was solid.
But other than that, yeah, it was just I don't know, just it was a good effort for 3/4, and then just yeah, I don't know, it's just awful.
What is it for you, mate? Like, what is it for you? Is it leadership? Is it coaching? Is it structure? Is it effort? What do you see?
I think it's a little bit of coaching, leadership, a lot of leadership. Like, where was the leaders in that last quarter? Nobody stood up.
Yeah. I actually thought Doherty had a pretty good second half. I thought he really lifted. But, what do we do from here, mate? What happens now?
Sam Sheffield-Seaton, he's got to come out. I didn't really see him throughout the night. He was just non-existent. And I don't know who his opponent was. Maybe Bobby Hill. Got a goal and 2 points. So, I don't know. I thought Paulson and Dow were pretty good. They were decent. Not bad. But just, yeah. That's really it.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Well, thanks for joining. Great to see you again.
Thanks, Derek.
See you, legend. Hey, mate.
Where do you want to start?
You take the floor, my friend. Talk to me. What'd you see?
I think you said Doherty stood up in the second half. I'm lost for words. Doherty stood up in the second half. Harry went missing. Martin was slick. Walsh was slick. Murphy was up there. Whitfield went missing, and they still beat us.
Mate, we've got no idea how to win games of football. No idea. We've got it. Just the moment comes, the little moments come in the fourth, and every time the moments come, it's either the wrong decision or the panic decision. And I understand there's this notion of building forward and building to the future, but I'm also starting to feel like nothing's guaranteed. Just because we've got young and developing players, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a guarantee that this team's going to win a premiership, and for fuck's sake, we did everything right for 3/4 almost. Everything. And then mentally, it just creeps in and you can smell it. And I'll be honest, 8 minutes to go, I'm giving up as a fan. I've seen these boys do this before.
We've all seen it, Terry.
Yeah.
We've all seen it. I was trying to delay it. I wanted to push that away because I thought I might be proven wrong. And here we are. That seeded doubt crept in. Everything else followed.
Yeah. No, I feel you, mate. What do we do from here? What happens?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, that's as much as we were building finals up and all that. I think that's it. We needed to win tonight as well as win well against Sydney and Adelaide. We've now lost to GWS tonight. So finals ain't happening. That's it for me. I want to say back to the drawing board, but how many times can you say that and then get sick of saying it?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's exactly right. When do we start demanding success? When does that come? I think the first step is how much are we going to accept as a football club? What's acceptable anymore? What's acceptable for you right now, Chris? Is it effort? Is it just
effort? Yeah. We've got to make sure we put effort out for 4/4 because we are facing Sydney next week, who beat Melbourne up in Cairns. Now there is unpredictable as a yo-yo at the moment, and then Adelaide are coming off a win against Hawthorn at home, and now we face them at Metricon again. So now, if we drop both of them, I can imagine how well we're all going to be feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, mate. Look, it's a tough one. Obviously, right after the loss as well. I really appreciate you joining me, mate. I'm glad to have heard your voice.
Always happy to do it, mate. Always happy to do it.
You have a great night.
Cheers, mate. Thank you,
See
sir.
you. This is going to be a fucking tough one here. Nathan.
Hey, Terry, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. Hey.
Hang on. Yeah, no, that game was, second half, fucking putrid again, mate. Just looking forward to 2021, Charlie Curnow, see what we can do for the trade period, and that's it, mate.
You know, unfortunately, you're right. That's all we can sort of do now and look ahead. But, I mean, is this what it's going to be every year? You know, when the moment arises, take the next step. And it just feels like a wasted opportunity 2 weeks in a row against quality opposition or quality team on paper. You know, obviously emotions are high. We want to try and subdue them and don't do anything silly. But, I mean, when is it going to change? When does the winning happen? You know, when does the winning mentality happen? How do we do it? It's so hard.
Yeah, no, it is. Like you'd expect, you know, year 5 in the rebuild, surely second half of the year, kids get the games, got to do good, but, you know, it's just not happening.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's an argument to be made that maybe we had a weaker team in tonight, but I thought the fact that we put ourselves in that winning position, all we needed to do was kick a cut. Like I thought at 3/4 time personally, if we kick 2 goals in the fourth, we'll win the game, especially the first one. It isn't to be. We're left here shaking our shoulders and yeah. What did you think of the changes?
Yeah, I was surprised with the changes. I thought, you know, Cunners surely comes in with his speed against GWS, they are a quick team, and I thought, you know, Kenny for that bigger body, GWS, their inside mids are nuts. But I thought Cottrell was pretty good today. Reminds me of a Mitch Robinson, so, you know, a bit hard on the ball. Thought Paulson was still okay, so I didn't actually mind him not getting omitted. Gov, yeah, man, I honestly don't see what Teague sees in him. But I don't get it, man. I thought Cottrell was pretty good today. Reminds me of
excuse me for that. Yeah, no, I think, look, Govey's, I thought at times he looked like he straightened us up, but I might leave that one for now, and we'll see how that one goes, mate. But thanks for joining. I really appreciate it.
No worries, mate. Cheers.
Thanks, mate. Thanks very much for the $20 donation. He says, let's be real here. Nothing else really to do except look forward to another trade period. Pom. Oh, boy. Disappointing, my friend.
Oh, dear. There's a sense of inevitability about this club. You know, when you watch, you saw it. The moment that we lost that game was in the 7th. We turned the ball, 7 minutes to go. You see, we turn it over in the corridor, and there's people jogging. There's people jogging back in transition. Fucking jogging in a game that you can win. The comments in my live feed were, here we go again, we've lost. Everything has an inevitability about it. Even so that you know, you bet your ass to the barn dance that after this and after last week, a good 38% of the fan base are going to say nonsensical things like, we're young, we'll get better, next year's the year. I've been here 12 years now, and this football club has told me next year's the year. I'm sick of waiting. And my hatred and my anger comes from that isn't youth, that isn't experience, that isn't leadership, because for two quarters of that game, they were outplayed and grinded, dug deep. There was heart. There was something that makes you proud to be a Carlton member, a Carlton fan, and part of this great community, because whether we agree with each other or not, we are a great community. But if you defend that fourth quarter, you need your bumps feeling, and you need to piss off and watch sewing, because that's not professional sport. Now, I know I speak from a privilege of playing professional sport, coaching professional sport, but I have never seen anyone ever defend a lack of application. And for me, it's a habit. It's habitual. And when you are paid thousands, and we're talking thousands of dollars. Teague is on a lot of money. Them players are on a lot of money. Money that, if you live in Melbourne, is quite scarce at the moment. And if they can't find out in 12 fucking months why they can't kick sodding goals is your job. That is what you're meant to do. If they can't work that out, we are lost as a football club. Lost. Because that is habit. Habit. It's habitual. And lessons and all this namby-pamby bollocks people are going to spout about it's a lesson. Well, they're not learning the lesson, are they? Because either it's a coaching issue or it's a player issue. Because nothing changed in that game. Go through the stats. You can't pick a winner in them stats. And it's simple. It's application. And it's not gelling. It's not gelling. It's happening every time. 1 goal in 3 quarters of football. No goals in a 4th quarter with a game on the line last week. The last 6 games, we haven't kicked more than 2 goals in 2 quarters. It keeps happening.
Yeah, you're right, mate. You're right.
And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of making dumb fuck bets with Mickey Mouse fans because I believe in this club. This club means more to me than just about anything bar my kids and my family. I love it. I love everyone I meet in this club. Love all the fans. I love it. It's given me a place. It's made this stupid little country 600 million miles away from my home feel like home. I feel home in this Guernsey. And I don't get it. I don't believe what I'm seeing every week. And we're so much better. Don't get me wrong. We are talented. But there comes a point where talent and your application, it doesn't matter. I say it to my kids. Yeah, the effort's there. But when you come home with a D and your homework's an A, you're obviously not fucking trying hard enough, are you? And you're letting me down. And now they're letting themselves down. And that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, it's going to creep in. It seems like the cycle is just going to be rinse and repeat. And look, yes, I am happy to say that there's been some improvement from last year. But, I mean, this isn't about a participation award. This isn't about an effort award. This is about winning and losing. That's what it's got to be. We all want to be the mighty Carlton Football Club. And yes, we're not that right now. But if we want to be the mighty Carlton Football Club, we have, where do you start? And look, this isn't something that's new. I'm sure the club are aware of it. But what's the next move?
Well, firstly, let's get rid of all these bollocks hashtags. Hashtag own the future. Hashtag we can't own a fucking quarter. So how are we going to own an infinite period of fucking time? Tell me that, media team. Stop your bollocks and let's remember what this fucking club's about. This club is about winning. It's all it knows. We're in a bit of a shit situation at the moment. And let's stop these media talks about winning and finals. And let's talk about hard work and intensity, because them first 2 quarters I enjoyed because it was heart. You could see. There felt like there was a willingness to win. For me, we did the draft. We did the trade video of the team. I think you look at our team. For me, you look at our team makeup. It's obvious where we're missing. We're missing them core ages. We're going to have to go out and grab them core ages. And what we need to do as a fan base is stop going on social media and saying, no, let's keep it in-house. No, let's make sure that we develop Dow, and actually be real and think, do we want to win or do we want to create a kindergarten? Because I don't know about you, I want to fucking win. So if that means Dow goes, if that means SPS goes, I couldn't give a fuck. I want 4 points every week. I want us singing the song, and I want all these other cretins of other fans to know my football club is the best club in the land, with the best fans, the best team, the best songs, the best fucking fan channel. I want it all, and I want it now. So we've got to stop putting pressure on the team to not trade away our stars, because look what happened. We have so much power. We got Teague this job. Public opinion got this job. We fought hard for him. So let's fight hard now to get what we fucking deserve. Flags, premierships, Sid Jackson, John Nichols, legends of the game. Let's make new legends today, starting now. Hashtag on the future. Hashtag get the fuck out. Hashtag we want it now. That's what I want to see. We want it now. We've waited. The team are good enough. Let's find these top-up stars and let's get some fucking dubs.
Good on you, mate. I'm going to let you go, but thanks so much for cheering me up.
I'm going to cry.
I'll speak to you afterwards. Thanks, brother. Jake Horvath, thanks for the $10 donation. He says it's better to get it all out, mate. Yep, it sure is, and that's what we're going to do here. Bailey, you got to take your mic off mute, mate. Okay, next up, Shad. Next up, Shad.
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, mate. How you doing?
Yeah. Not great. I think Pommy, like as you said, cheered us up a bit, but yeah. Well, do you have any questions? I've got a lot of stuff written down about that game.
Give me your number one takeaway from that game.
Oh, my number one takeaway is probably that's a tough one, but I'll say one thing: how much do we need Plowman? That's one thing I thought. I find we're so much more solid with Plowman down there. I thought there were times when Liam Jones was like running off his man and like approaching, like trying to win the contest because he didn't have faith in Williamson to win it or Doherty. Whereas you don't see that with Plowman in the team. And I kind of thought he's so solid, and I think fans have just given him too much hate for too long.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I think Plowman was missed tonight. To be fair, I personally believed our defense was really, really solid tonight for the most part. Plowman is obviously a big part of that. But, it was disappointing, mate. What do you think of the changes? Last question. What do you think of the guys that we brought in? I know there was a bit of talk about that before the game.
I thought Cottrell, I've tried not to look at the stats, but I thought Cottrell made an impact. He doesn't look out of place in this side at all. He looks like he fits in well. I didn't notice, I thought he was playing on Whitfield a bit, and I didn't notice Whitfield a heap. And during the week, I kind of thought he's the main player we need to stop. McGovern, I don't know about McGovern. I think we persist with him, but maybe he's one we look to trade at the end of the season, just as he might get something. Who was Samo? I thought Paulson made a bigger impact than Samo today. And I've been anti-Paulson this whole year, but I thought he made a bigger impact.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. Great to chat with you. Thanks for jumping on.
You too. Thank you.
See you, Edge. Take it easy.
Oh, hello. Nice to chat.
Hey, Sam.
Although not to the greatest mood.
No, not the greatest mood, mate. Talk to me. What was your takeaway from the game?
I just think, Pommy touched on it really well, that just the effort. I think the most disheartening thing is that all season I can see the potential, and maybe in the last couple of years I haven't been able to see it as clear, the future. But some of the group I've seen really well, especially some of the early games in the season, like the Geelong game and everything, really looking sharp. And I don't know if the players just considered themselves in this strange year up in that it was probably already over. But I don't know. Yeah, the effort is questionable. But I think what was most noting from the game, the last quarter where the GWS coach didn't, I've forgotten his name. I'm all frazzled. He let them run free and it really opened up the game for it. And I felt that, I don't know, the forward system that we got going, it seems to work one week and then not the other. I think the interchanging of the tools, Tom DeGoning's great. I think when he was in, it worked a little better. It's really hard. I think that we really need to have a solid forward line. And that's the thing, because those entries and then just nothing happening. And it's just so frustrating when you got all that time, the pressure and the momentum, and you can't get it over the line, no matter what you're trying to do. And I thought the whole game would have been completely changed if we got a couple of goals in that last, maybe that third quarter. This is just crazy. In 2 games, it's the same thing.
absolutely, mate. Thanks very much for your thoughts. I really appreciate them.
Cool. Catch up.
Thanks, Ledge. Sorry, I'm just getting the link out. Chad, if there is a Stephen R in there, oh boy. Oh.
You think
Rocco, mate.
on this today and be completely different because again they sucked me in and I wrote you a message. I said I've got a good feeling, and again, man, they've sucked us in again, man. I'm telling you, man, there's no leadership there, mate. They are disgraceful. They rip me heart out, man. Man, I used to watch the Blues from the old, mate. Remember the game when Kernahan, mate? It was that Essendon game when he drew the game. Yeah, he kicked it out of bounds, mate, but he took that mark to draw it, and then he turned around to him and he said, mate, you kick me that ball and I'll kick you that goal, mate. Who's asking for it? Who is asking for it? I've told you, and I think during the week you said, Colson, give him another go, mate. I don't want to bag individuals, right? But seriously, mate, if this is the type of play we're putting in our side, we are going to get nowhere, mate. What are we doing here, mate? Why are we've given this bloke, I don't want to bag him, but we've given him a million chances, this bloke. And he did one tackle. But you know what? He'll put that under his belt and he'll probably go to sleep tonight. Yeah, I did that tackle. You've done nothing again. Man, this is a disgrace, man. They're ripping me apart, this team, man. I don't even know what to say anymore, man. I wrote down some stuff because I thought, I'm going to say some stuff today. I might give a few stats, act like I really know what I'm talking about. Man, I burnt that piece of paper. That is ridiculous, man. They could, even if they won tonight, I'm telling you, if they won tonight, they didn't deserve it. Again, mate. How do you play 2 quarters without kicking a goal, mate? How do you do it again? How do you do it? 42 entries or 42 entries for 1 goal or something. That stat I know. I mean, if I was the coach, I swear to God, I wouldn't even let them wear the jumper anymore. During training, they wouldn't even wear any of the apparel anymore. Nothing they wear, zero. You have to bring your own tops in. The only time you get to wear the jumper that I love is on game day. And I swear to God, if there's no sweat and tears, not only your sweat and tears from the other side, you will not wear that jumper again, man. Get rid of people like McGovern, man. What useless that bloke is. Seriously, you're up there, man. He gives you nothing, that bloke. He gives you nothing, man. How much are we paying him? Gives you nothing, man. Mate, I don't even know anymore, man. I'm over this crap, man.
There was a moment I thought of you, mate. Now, Jonesy, I actually thought Jonesy competed really well tonight, but there was one particular moment where it was in the back line. He sort of
go for the ball. That proves my point.
Who wants it?
Oh, you go for it. Oh, you go for it. Oh, excuse me, sir. Politely, you go and get the ball. What's that crap, mate? Get the ball. That's what we're here for. Get the ball. What are they doing, mate? Get the ball, mate. Own the moment. Own it. Own it. And don't get me wrong, he took that great mark and that, but every time you could even see, when Jack Martin, he was going for that goal, you could see, not the first goal, but after that, man, you could just see, man, he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. They're looking around. Who can I pass to? Man, I'm telling you, man, we got to start doing some hard calls, some real hard calls. And I'm telling you, we got too many bigs. Get rid of, man, at the moment, man, I don't know about McGovern, get rid of McGovern, we're going to make some hard calls, man. And I'm talking about no one. There is no one there that's safe. I'm telling you, man, if we can get a good deal for anyone, even Chris, man, again, I love the bloke, man, but you have to stand up again, mate. You have to stand up again. What did he do tonight? What did he do? Yeah, he went in hard, all right. But that should be standard. That should be standard. That's what you do every day, mate. That's what you do every day, But anyway, I sound like I'm rambling on again. I don't know.
It's great to hear from you. Thanks a lot for coming on, brother.
Take it easy and go the Blues.
I'll see you next week, mate. Love Rocco. Got a new member. 1 second, Adam. 1 second.
Hey.
Steve Moore, thanks very much for becoming a member. And then there was another donation here. Where are we? Jake Horvath, something needs to happen and soon. Thanks very much, mate. Adam.
Oh, mate, that was hard to watch that last quarter. I just want to touch on it's a trend I've been seeing for the last few weeks now. In fact, the last 5 years, I think it's a losing mentality that we've copped over the last 5 to 10 years. I think obviously all these bottom finishers, bottom four getting smashed. It's just we're in the game, we're up for the fight for 2-3 quarters, and then last quarter when it's crunch time, we just go to water and we just shit ourselves. We just go into our shell and people are telling me these excuses, or they're probably tired, this, that. That's just bullshit. We had the last 40, we had 42 inside 50s for one goal. It's just a joke. It's pathetic.
Yeah. So it's mate, it's execution, because like you said, we put the opportunities there. We just didn't take them, and it's this. I've said that line, and I'm sure you have as well, so many times. So is it a patience game? Is it just going to turn around? Is it just going to happen?
Honestly, patience. We've been told to be patient the last how many years since the rebuild started in 2015. Be patient. We're a few years away. Now I've seen the improvement. I'm happy with improvement. I think Teague's the right man. Definitely for sure. It's just the games that you should be winning. You just got to win them. This got nothing to do with patience. We're right into that game. We had them, on the line, on the scruff of the neck. That third quarter was brilliant. I was really confident, and then we just go to water again. It's like as I said, this losing mentality. They can't get it. They can't finish a team off. They just get scared. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And also I've got some concerns. Just with this whole rebuild sort of thing. Some of our draft picks. I know they're still young, but what are your thoughts on Paddy Dow?
To be honest, I haven't really gone through the players. I mean, he was he kicked. Main thing tonight is he kicked a goal, but I'm reaching now. He was okay. He's the least of our worries, because he, for me, is the future in the future group.
But shouldn't he be stepping up now, though? Those sort of guys, like Petrovsky, Seaton, these
Maybe.
sort of guys.
Maybe,
it just
yeah.
seems I don't know.
Maybe. The problem for me is they're coming into an environment where they're just thrust in there to fix the problem, right? And they've got – who are they learning off? Let's be honest here, and I love Mark Murphy, but I love Simo. Who are they learning off? They're learning off guys who don't even know what it's like to be at the very top. So that's my thing. My thing is the environment that we're cultivating, and the club are aware. Let's not pretend like us fans know better than the club. The club know all about this, but now it's about action for me.
Yeah. Well, in terms of leadership, our two co-captains, I thought Doherty was insane. He was He was probably one of our best players. He was really good. I wasn't a big fan of his game last week, but he really, came back strong. A lot of intercept marks. He was actually very good with the ball, very poised. Just back to Mr. Reliable, Doc. But with Cripps, obviously his body is just not at its peak level at the moment. He looks very, very sore. And I love Cripper. Obviously he's done so much for us, but I just think is it a bit selfish him going out there today? I don't know. Obviously I've got David Cunningham or Kennedy, who's a lot more fitter, could have maybe done a better job. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, Cunningham, let's be honest. Everyone's talking about Cunningham tonight. Everyone forget how poor he was playing before he got injured.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway.
I just think next year, 221, is it it's finals or bust in terms of this rebuild? We're 6 years into a rebuild. Finals or nothing or bust 221. That's my opinion.
Yep. Love it, mate. Thanks so much for joining.
Go on.
Thanks, Ledge. Take care. Adam's also on a podcast called Back to the Bench, so make sure you check that out. Benji.
Terry, mate. Oh, my God. I'm not going to give the bullshit, we have to play 4 quarters. I would scream, but my parents here. I mean, it's Liam Jones. I get so nervous, mate, when he's got the ball in his hands. I mean, in the third quarter, he had it, and he had to shepherd, and then he thought, maybe I'll just tap it out, and then he tapped it out of bounds. And then, you know what, they kicked a goal out of it, and it was the same bullshit. It was into the fourth quarter. He just, it was the same every week. I thought it was a flashback. Mate.
It was almost identical, if we're honest, to the game last week against the Pies. It was a good first half, a gritty first half. The Pies had momentum. We were able to withstand and get a goal against the flow. It was a goalless third quarter, and then it was a death in the fourth quarter.
Look, I even DM'd you this morning saying, like, I believe, we can win this game and I believe we can still get there. And look, you bring that. And I knew as soon as he kicked the first goal, I knew it was game over. I knew it was like, it was just, mate, I've been watching the same thing my whole life.
Yeah, mate. How old are you? Oh, okay. Next up, Shad.
Hey,
Bryce,
mate.
how's it going?
I'll start off with the only positive, I guess, is that, Kane Corns is a flog and Sam Welsh is the best of that draft, So we'll start off with that. But, I mean, we spoke last week. Like I said, I didn't expect we'd make top 8. I was just hoping to see this progression pattern come. But, I'm 26 and I'm just, I'm hurting. I'm upset. You want to cry. We're angry. We're frustrated. It's just, we haven't seen success for a long time, and we finally start to see a little bit of a spark, I guess you'd call it. And it's just, we just hit that same pattern again where it just, you start to see it and it goes downhill, Like I had a little girl this year and I've signed her up as a member straight away because hopefully by the time she's old enough to know what football is, success will be there and she'll be able to see something that I probably haven't seen when she'll be my age, and that'll be that path, like the olden days. But it just really, really hurts. And, I'll watch your player ratings and you'll nitpick the game when you rewatch it. But you got to start to wonder, it's more than just one or two things now that are hurting us. It's more than just one or two players, and it seems to be the second half. If you have a look at all our games, I think was it the game against the Doggies, we kicked on and we had that win by a little bit. But every other game, even if we've had those close wins, it's been that second half that's been our downfall. So I'm not really sure how to fix that. I don't know if that's fitness, effort, what it is, but it just hurts.
It does, mate. It hurts. It hurts a lot. It hurts a lot. We all believe in the plan and the rebuild and all of that. I can't help but feel like the next 12 months, that patience is probably worn out for a lot of people. Some people are a little bit more patient. I'm very much patient, but I'm sensing what a lot of people are. There's a macro problem. It's not micro. It's macro. There's a stain. I say it every week. There's a stain that just lingers, and we haven't been able to jump out of the rut. And I hope more than what I know that we have the right people at the club to make sure that we get it right. And that's just me being totally honest. I hope. That's all it is. I just hope. I don't know.
I was thinking, these few wins, we talk about bringing in players, destination club. We've talked about wanting to be a destination club for these players. And the first half of the year, we probably started to look like a destination club. Now you start to question, are we a destination club for people wanting to come again? I'm thinking 2 more wins and our season would be a success. Based off last year, more wins, 2 more wins is success. Well, Adelaide, I tell you what, they'll be up and about when we play Adelaide. And Sydney, well, they've just beaten Melbourne. So realistically, with the 3 games to go, we're not shoo-ins anymore. These are going to be 3 tough games, to come. So what do you think? Are we going to win 1? 2? I think 2 is the benchmark, but I don't know.
Tough one, mate. Thanks so much for joining. It's been good to speak with you again.
Cheers,
Thanks,
mate.
Take it easy. Who is next? Hey, brother.
Bro. Let's be honest with each other. Were you expecting anything else?
I actually thought at 3/4 time, I thought we did it. I thought because it was so similar to last week against Collingwood, where it was sort of, against the grain first half, a lot of effort in the second half, but we didn't concede a goal, we didn't kick one, and then I thought if we could just get the first one of the fourth, we're probably going to win this game. And then as soon as they went ahead and got ahead, I lost it. I lost faith and I lost belief and I gave up.
I'm in a group convo with the boys, and it's like we just knew it was expected.
Yeah,
but it was still disappointing. Like,
of course, because we want to win. Of course.
Bro, I don't even know what the issue is anymore. Like, Cripps cannot handle a tag. That has been proven time and time again. He needs someone to chop him out when he's getting tagged. Because you put someone on Cripps, obsolete. He's gone.
Let's talk about that for a sec, right? So the help for Cripps, the big-bodied midfielder, the help for Cripps.
Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. I don't think we need a big body mid, but go on. Yeah.
I personally think Setterfield has shown enough improvement to help that area. I also personally think Ed Curno's pretty much done that as well for the majority of the year. I just think, when are we going to start expecting more from the captain? When Murphy was captain, he was copping it, left, right, and center. Doesn't stand up in big moments. He kicked goals when he needed to.
Yeah.
But Cripps,
I agree with you totally. You should see our group convo. Like, we're all with you. But what I mean by that is something's got to give. Like, because they're just going to keep tagging Cripps out of the game every single week. And he's shown he can't. Bro, he got out tagged by a first gamer against Essendon last year. Like, and he got dominated. I forgot the kid's name, but
Dylan Clark.
Dylan Clark absolutely wrecked him, bro.
Yeah.
And I just like, I love Cripps, but he's obviously playing with an injury. He's obviously playing with something. So at this point, just get him out of the team. Get him right. Don't just stop wasting a spot that you could be getting into a younger player. Betts needs to be dropped, man. Like, he's had a horrible month, and he's been average before that. And I think just because it's Eddie Betts, we've kind of just it's Eddie. He's all right. He'll come good, but he hasn't. He's not sticking marks. He's falling over. He's kicking along the ground. He's just making errors that an older player makes. And I think it's just, now that the season's done, probably just get someone else in. Just get a bit of game time into him.
Yeah, there's young Matt always is there doing his thing in the twos.
He's killing it, bro. Yeah.
Look, I think now that we're out, pretty sure this is it. We're out of the contention now. We are. I think it's now mathematically impossible. I'm pretty sure. We're going to have to look. It's a big off season, man. It's a big off season. I thought we did pretty well in last year's off season to get Martin and Noons and Pitternet, who have all done some pretty good things for us this year. All of that.
They're in our best 8.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we've got to have another off season, maybe with more of a headliner player. But yeah, man, I'm big on bringing winners into the club, not just on field. I'm talking about coaches
off field.
I want to see premiership players at the football club.
That's the thing. We've got no one at the club who's been successful.
Just Luke Power. Just Luke Power.
That's right, Luke Power. But I mean, David Teague hasn't been in a premiership side. I'm pretty sure he hasn't. And I can't think of anyone else who's won a premiership that's around the club. And that, you need that presence. You need that ego at the club, and we just don't have that. We don't have that pride. We don't have that. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It's tough, man.
I don't know.
It's been good chatting with you, though.
You too, bro.
We'll get through it together, I guess.
As we do, bro. Take care.
Take care of yourself, man.
Mate, how are we?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm not as pessimistic as I think a lot of people are after that. Like, it's obviously disappointing. We get beat again, similar circumstance, but yeah, I think we just got to be a bit realistic. Like, we finished 16th last year. We were 1-11 at the turn. We're now going to finish about 12th worst case. Could be a bit higher. I think that's a valid improvement. Like, obviously, I think the sniffer finals has got everyone a bit excited, but I don't think top 8 was ever the aim. And if you look at the rebuild in reality, the building of the list started in 2018. Before that, it was about culling. It was about getting rid of some of the fat. We didn't really start building this list until 2018 in terms of looking for that real developing steps, I don't think. I think everything before that was about trying to get rid of guys that maybe weren't part of the future.
Well, we drafted Wiedering in 15. We drafted Harry, Charlie, Cunningham in 15. So, I don't know. I look at it as if 16 was year 1 of the rebuild.
Yeah.
I get that.
I look at it as 18. You still look at that 2017-20. Yeah, that 2017 season, I think at one point we were 5-5. We were still carrying a lot of blokes that we're clearly not going to be at the football club in 2 years' time. And it was about getting games into that, like that Wiedering, Charlie, Harry, Sog, Cunners draft class. That's obviously the core draft class that we're going to go forward with. But I think it was about getting games into them. We then had a lot of blokes that aren't there now. I think probably half that list would be more than gone. And yeah, I think we've just got to be a bit more patient. I think, like I understand Gov's copping a bit, but it's his first game back, and his link between half back to half forward is imperative for our side. I think he's our second most involved player in scoring chains when he's been in behind Martin. And I mean, like, it was a bit untidy by foot today, but we know with him, conditioning's a big thing. When he misses football, it takes time for him to be back anywhere near his best. And I think because we haven't seen continuity with him, we haven't got that yet.
Have
but
we
I think
seen
he's proved true. What was that, mate?
Have we seen his best?
No, I don't think so, but I don't think he's played continuous football since he's got to the club. Like every now, it's always seems 6 weeks and he's out, 6 weeks and he's out. And the same happened with his brother in West Coast. It took Jeremy years before they found what works for that body type, because it is a different body type. If he misses weeks, he needs weeks to get that body right again, just conditioning wise. So I think patience. I understand it wears thin, but we've got to be a little bit more patient with Gov. I think everyone's looking for marks and goals. It's about more than that. It's about what he brings the side as a whole. But yeah, I think also you've got to look at the outs today as well. No Plowman. I mean, no Cunningham, no Silvani. Mark Banks been out. Newman. There's countless blokes not in our best 22 that probably would be, I think, generally. So I think patience has just got to stick fat with this. Like, if you had offered us last year from 16 that we might finish 12th, you take that every day of the week. That's a genuine jump that most sides make. And then next year we can start to look at finals. But I think I understand another close loss in the same way gets the fans upset, but I don't think things are as bad as they seem. They're never as good as they seem. They're never as bad as they seem. I don't think.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good analogy for life. Nothing is. I think I hate to quote him right now at a time like this, but Brendan Bolton had the quote "equilibrium." Never get too high.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the right time to be quoting Bolts, but I get your point, and I agree. I mean, look, when the dust settles, it's all going to be okay. We're going to be fine, and we're going to know that we have improved. I take that point for sure. But I remember 2011, and we were like, up and coming. We played in the elimination final, made the semi, and I was so confident that, we've got the number 1 draft picks. We're going to be fine. And then it just died. Nothing's guaranteed. Yeah. Nothing's guaranteed.
No.
So as much as we want to be patient, I think the angst is coming from there's a fear of I've seen this before. I've seen this cycle before, and this is not because I think they're capable tonight. I thought there was a team capable enough of winning that game of football tonight. I didn't look.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it as if, oh shit, they're just not going to be out. They don't know how to play this game for 4 quarters. Like probably 2018 when we had all those first-year players in, or 2017. So I think there's a bit of that, but I think you are spot on with nothing's ever as bad as what it seems. So we'll take a deep breath and we'll fight to live another day.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. I think two more wins this year. I think we probably get over the next 2. Probably lose to Brisbane. I think we've got to play our best 22. I know everyone's saying like got to get some youth in. Just got to play our best 22. That's the stage the club's at now. Play the best 22 every week. Go from there. Hopefully land a Papley and a Williams, and 2021. Here we go.
Awesome, mate. Great to have your debut. Thanks for coming on.
Good to be here, mate. Cheers.
Thanks, Ledge. Braxton, we are screwed once the game goes back to 25-minute quarters. If we can't play a full game of footy with 16-minute quarters, we won't be able to play a half of footy. Fatigueness and laziness is our enemy. Yeah, it's tough.
How's it going?
Well, how are you, mate?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Good, mate. I'm good.
Yeah, look, it was it's definitely been an improving year, like you said. But I was just watching Teague's press conference before, and he said, like, we're not quite there yet, and I can't agree more. Like, we're not. And I could say it's a year too early to play finals. Like, I understand it's, a bit of impatience coming, but I think of it like, if we got there, would we win a game? Probably not. I don't know. So I'm 21, so I've seen us finishing pretty low pretty much every year. So yeah, it's it'll be interesting what happens from here on.
Yep. Yeah, fair enough. No, look, I think it's just obviously we're very much stinging from the point we lost, and then 4 days later we turn up and do pretty much the same thing again. So naturally,
exactly. Yeah.
an emotional
Yeah.
because we're disappointed because it seems to be the same mistake happening all over again. But what's the number one thing for you that we've got to address in the off season?
You got to look who you're gonna not offer a contract to, who you got going to
Sorry, mate.
release. And
Your audio is
so,
muffling in my ear. I'm gonna have to let you go.
good.
Sorry, mate. Your audio is just.
You're right.
Thanks for jumping on, though. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, Terry.
Hey, Fabian. How are you, mate?
Not bad, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, mate. I'm good. I'm here with the Carlton people, so at least I've got someone to talk to.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What did you think?
Look, I'm a bit disappointed, but not surprised. It kind of had the same vibe from last week, but I had more hope going into the last quarter. But as soon as
I thought we were I thought we were really well placed.
Yeah, same. And then I think it was Riccardi kicked the first goal of the quarter. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go again. It's tough, but you just got to stick with them, I guess. I mean,
yeah, of course we're going to front up. I think we've got a 5-day break now until the next game, so we're not going anywhere. We're going to support them and love them, and
exactly.
buy chips and buy our Guernseys and buy our merch. Nothing changes, but I don't know. When is the right time to start demanding success? That's the question. Are we okay with fading out late to good sides? Is that yeah? But they try. Is that okay? What do you think?
Look, it's been okay for too long now, and I think it's just starting to get to me. Like I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think I saw someone comment that. I think this year's done. Look to next year, I guess. Maybe land a Williams or Papley.
Yep.
And I think I saw Eddie Betts is getting another year, which I'm fine with. But we need winners on the team. We don't have that winning mentality. We can't finish out a game. But what can you do about it?
Yeah. No, absolutely, mate. Great to chat with you. Thanks for joining.
Likewise. See you later.
See you, legend. Take care.
How's it going, man?
Josh, how are you, mate?
Not bad, not bad. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. What did you take away from the game tonight?
It's just they suck you in, don't they? Like you score the goal, Murphy kicks that goal, and then 3/4 time, you're like, maybe there's some momentum, and then they scored that first goal, and then it's just that feeling of it's the Collingwood game all over again, and I just didn't see us scoring goal.
It was very similar.
Yeah, I was just like, like they'll suck me in every week. Like I'll always watch, but there's always that feeling of just, here it comes. I can sense it coming. Even against Port Adelaide, like that was such a good game, but the second, like the last minute came, I was like, something's gonna happen, and I get that vibe, and it just happens. But I mean, we're not young anymore, but we're also like we've still got some young players that we can bring in. But I don't know, like I guess finals is done this year, so it's just a matter of building for next year. But when you get that sniff, since we've been so deprived of it, it's just like it gets you up and about, and then it's just gone now. So
yeah, I think there's something in that. I've been looking for a positive, and I just found it.
Yeah,
we it's round 15, and we're done for finals. When's the last time it took until round 15 for our season to be dead?
Yeah.
And I'm not accepting mediocrity, but what I'm saying is, as a supporter in our age profile and our demographic, it's just been a dead season from round 11, round 10, round 1. We have those 0-6 starts. So the fact that they got to a point where, okay, well, fuck, there's a bit of a pulse. Next year is just massive for this club.
Yeah, it's definitely is a good sign that it's taken some good teams and a long time to take us out of it. But I think next year it's finals, or it's like just below that, like ninth, and like just scraping in, or scraping out. I don't know. Like I feel like that's the standard we have to reach. We either have to get there, or we just miss. Or but even then, if we just miss, it's that feeling of we've been let down. But I have hope, so got to keep that hope alive, I think.
So do I, mate. So do I. Great to chat with you, man. Thanks for jumping on.
No worries, man. Catch ya.
Cheers, Ledge. 3 new members: Stefan Iliadis, Jason Terranova, Brody Marston on YouTube. So thanks very much. Adam,
Hey, Derek.
how are you,
Oh,
Ledge?
Oh, I'm broken.
Yeah.
That hurts.
You can't be doing this 4 days after with 2 losses like that after 4 days. It's not good for the soul, mate.
Yeah, and there's the thing about that game. I only see 2 players that can hold their head up high in Wiedering and Walsh, and I'm just scared for them.
Yeah.
I'm just scared.
Yeah.
It's
No,
like,
yeah.
It's like like they're part of a losing culture, and like you don't want that, and especially like second, third year players like Paddy Dow and Petrevsky Seaton. If you drop them, then like that's their confidence down, and then they're gonna dish up performances like that, and then you're gonna just see what we saw tonight, and it was just sad. Honestly, I'm pissed.
It just like crumbled.
Yeah,
It just crumbled before our eyes, and there's so many terms to say. Weak mentally, no leadership. There's so many ways to describe it. I just had a guy that was on before. He put it into perspective, and yes, we've improved, and we want to improve year to year. But I think we could be so much better in a 12-month period next year if we get the right pieces at this football club, because I think we've got some serious talent, but they just have the right pieces around them at the moment. Whether that be on field, off field, I don't know. But yeah, man, it's it's tough, but at least we got each other.
Yeah, and the thing it's a repeating thing. Like you see that first contest, Martin. I'm thinking like, what we're on here. This is going to be like that's a tone speaking act. And then Nunes did that exact same thing on the wing the other time, and I was like, oh yeah, that should boost him. And then that last quarter, what was going on? I saw players like Cripps, even McGovern, just like smiling in that break, like thinking that it's just all going to come for him, and like to drop 15 points in a 16-minute half with quarter where Giants are not even kicking goals straight. Oh, it's just fucking
It's tough,
annoying.
mate. But no, I appreciate you coming on and sharing the passion, mate. It's been good to chat with you.
No worries. Thank you.
Take it easy, brother.
Hey, Tez, been a big fan since like about 2018.
Oh, mate, that's humbling. Thanks so much.
Yeah, no problem. I'd also just like to preface, I often get things wrong. Right here is a jumper that may look like an Eddie Betts jumper, but it is not. It is, in fact, from 2016-2017 of my favorite player at the time, Liam Sumner. So I'm not always going to get my players right. But just before I defend the player I really want to defend, I'd just like to give a quick summary, which would be that our defence was astoundingly amazing. Our forward line had great pressure, but just couldn't make it work. And our midfield, it was best put by Heath Buck a couple of weeks ago when he said that our midfield is roughly the second worst in the comp, and I think that's true. Like, we tend to overperform, and that's really good, but it's very clear we're lacking, and when teams get a roll, we just can't stop it whatsoever. Now, the man I want to defend is the much-maligned Mitch McGovern. And not only do I think he gets a bad rap for all the effort he puts in, I also believe he is miscategorized as a player. He is often labelled as our third tall forward, when in my opinion, he is a small forward with the body of a key forward. Now, his weaknesses are the fact that he fades in and out of games. He bumps instead of tackles. I still don't understand that one, especially considering how good of a tackler he is. He always chooses to bump, and it frustrates the crap out of me. And he's incredibly injury prone, and when he does get injured, he comes back completely out of shape. It's quite frustrating. But his strengths is, I'd argue he is top 5 in speed for our team. At Adelaide, not at Carlton, but at Adelaide, he showed he was an incredibly strong mark. He has, for a man who plays like a small forward, he has an incredible frame which demands players like Aiden Core tonight to play on him, when typically you'd be expecting players like Lockie Ash or Heath Shaw to be playing on a player like him. And his leading patterns, which has been brought up by, I can't remember his name, but I'll get back to me. His leading patterns completely takes Aiden Core, in this case, completely out of the marking contests. Like, there was a reason Harry Mackay was in one-on-ones the entire game. There was a reason Levi Caswell kept finding himself in one-on-ones but couldn't capitalize on it. I would argue he is our most important forward. He may not be our best forward, but he is certainly our most important forward. The problems come with the Carlton fan base and our attachment to our first impressions. You have Lockie Plowman, who in one of his very first games takes the kick in, kicks it about 30 metres to the right, straight to an opposition player, was maligned from that point on. You had Nunes this year, if you remember, in the Collingwood practice game, first bounce, ball goes out onto the wing, slips over, looks like an absolute dickhead, and was hated up until the Fremantle game. Mitch McGovern, first game, completely out of shape, couldn't take a mark to save his life, and he's basically been unable to shake that since. So I think in the coming years he'll be able to prove that wrong, but at this current point he is our most essential forward, but he's incredibly and undeservedly maligned.
I think you've put the argument very well, and I think it's a testament to you. Whether people agree with it or not is irrelevant, but that's what this is all about. I think personally, you make some really good points, but when we're talking about the business of winning and the business of sport, and you fork out almost 10% of your salary cap for him, and we get what we have received from him, I think there is a bit of expectation that comes with
certainly.
that. You know, and at the end of the day, like I said, we're in the business of winning games of football here. And if a guy of that caliber, in terms of what we're investing, because let's be honest, we're investing in him to come over and putting a lot of resources into him, I think there's just a question mark over, has he really been worth it? And and I think you're right about the impressions. I think Jack Martin nailed it with his first impression. I think Jack Nunes is obviously, I think everyone needs one game where you can endear yourself to the club. Jack Nunes has now done that. I don't know if Mitch McGovern has had that game yet, where it's like, oh, he won us the game, or that was the Mitch McGovern game. And I'm waiting for it because I know he's capable. I know he's got the talent. I believe in him, but I haven't seen it now for 2 years, and there's injuries, and then there's, for me, I lost a little bit of whatever the word I'm looking for is, love for him when he came back out of shape and he had to go back in that mini preseason last year.
Okay.
We're talking about professional sports athletes now. We're not we're not talking about a rookie listed player. So that's just sort of my devil's advocate there. But I loved your argument, mate, and I'd love you to come on next week.
No problem, brother.
Great to chat with you, man. Have a good one.
You too, brother.
See you later.
Yeah, I'm now to leave.
Right? That was actually a really good argument. I might have not agreed with that. 1 second, Julius. I might not agree with that, but that is what this is all about. He has his opinion and he articulated that very well. I like that. I like that a lot. Julius.
What can I say? I feel fucking shit, seriously. Against Collingwood, like the one game, the club I fucking hate, and we do it. Exact same thing. Every break, except the last one we're up. How can you explain that? 2 weeks in a row, we do the same bullshit. Unpopular opinion, Sam Walsh got to be our captain. Next 3 games that we've got, all the veterans get dropped. We need Honey, Philp, always get all the young talent and get some games into them. The season's done. Cripper's got mental issues. I know his missus is going through some mental health, so get him off. He's not thinking straight, but I'm just disappointed. Like, I'm ashamed to wear that, seriously. It's bullshit. I'm embarrassed to tell people, like when they ask, oh, who do you go from the AFL? I'm embarrassed to say Carlton, seriously, because then they look back at this shit. 2 weekends in a row, same thing happens. How does that work? Seriously.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about what I said about getting the young talent in.
I think if you put all the young talent in, I think there's like a never-ending cycle of a fucking losing culture.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you put the young boys in, which, let's be honest, we did that when we drafted them, yeah? All of them got games early. Dow, Samo, Fisher, O'Brien, every single one of them was thrown into the deep end. And we won 2 games in 2018, and then it was all about, hang on, we need to put some experience around these guys because winning is more important than, development. So we went and did that. Now it's all of a sudden, no, throw the kids in now. Every kid's got to play. What I like about this year is not every kid has played, and some kids have been stiff to miss, like Fisher, like Kennedy, like Dow, who have all performed in the twos. And that's probably what we didn't do with them at the start of their careers, make them earn it and really, and I think guys like Fisher, Kennedy have come in and played like they've been stood up a little bit. And so I like
Fisher's game against West Coast. That was amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, and if we throw the kids in next week, so if Honey, Philp, McCready, all of them, if we do all that, I take your point. Do you know how much we'll lose by to Adelaide, to Sydney?
If that's the experience we need.
Well, see, for me, winning's more important.
Oh, that's fair enough.
For me, winning is more important because if we lose the next 3 in a row and finish this season losing 5 in a row.
Yeah, that makes sense. You know
what I mean? Like, I think there's a balancing act. I do. I think there's a balancing act, and I think we played quite a few kids tonight, to be honest. I think there were quite some youngsters out there tonight.
Walsh, he's just amazing. Seriously, everyone's saying that he shouldn't have been number 1. Go get fucked. Seriously, he's leading the team at 19 years of age. Like, that's the player you look to on the ground.
He's one of our best.
I probably think he's our best player tonight.
Yeah, I think. I know that the leaders are getting some flack. I actually genuinely believed Sam Doherty had a really good game tonight. Like a lead.
Second half was great.
Yeah, I thought he was. I thought he was really good as a leader tonight. I didn't think Cripps was as good as a leader tonight, and I understand there's whatever is going on, but hey, are you right or are you not right? Are you going to be able to do your role or are you not going to be able to do your role? And that's what I'm starting to think now, but that's just my opinion. I'm not right. I'm not wrong.
That makes sense. Because as a captain, he should have the balls to say, no, I can't play.
Yep.
I don't know. But something's got to happen. We need a big off season.
Yeah, a massive one. What's your number 1 priority this off season?
Obviously Papley, but I don't know if we're going to get him or not. Maybe Ollie Wines. I just think we've got to put some big candidates forward. We can't be skimping for them. We've got to pay up. I reckon Samo's got to go. If we've got to sacrifice one of our tall forwards, we need Papley. We need an impactful player that's going to get us some wins. In situations like these, mate, we could have had 2 wins, been in the 8 and go on to Sydney and Adelaide on a momentum streak, but they stopped. So, I don't know. We've got to target someone big.
Yep. Love it, mate. Really enjoyed chatting with you. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Ledge. It was good.
Hey, Jerry.
What's happening, mate?
Just gutted as usual. It's just the same thing.
Same shit.
Oh, it's just the opportunities. What? We go in 15 points up into 3/4 time. We could have been 5-6 goals up. Like Harry Mackay, he kicked 1 goal 5. That is it's just so frustrating. to watch.
He looked like he was ready to just take that game.
I know.
Wow.
And even, everyone, the commentators are all getting around him, and it gets you excited, but then it's just devastating when they suck you in,
Yeah, I hope that his inability to kick is not going to affect him to keep wanting the ball and asking for it, because that was probably one thing I liked about his game tonight. He looked like, give me the ball, I'm leading. And I hope that the kicking doesn't get to his head where he stops making those efforts.
Yeah. What else is going to say? It's just they suck us in, and I was like, before the Collingwood game, I really thought we had a chance. I'm like going through the YouTube, looking at 2012, we beat Richmond, just thinking about that goal Garlic got when he runs the whole 50, and then you just brought it back to reality. It's just you know, like the game. I don't know. A lot of the time, I think we overhandball it. You know, there was one passage where we're going into forward 50, and you know, Walsh could have kicked the goal, Murph could have kicked the goal. We just keep handballing it into people who are about to get tackled. And
lack of awareness.
Yeah, I don't know. But that mark from Jonesy, that was an amazing mark. But
He's so funny. He has like a moment where it's like, what are you doing? And then the very next moment, you legend. He's I love him. I do love Jonesy. He can get to me at times, but I do love him.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like there's no answers. Really, just feel like we have a good enough list. Do we do it to be doing well? But I think it's just this culture of, you know, we haven't got anyone in the club and in the team that's had real success, and you know, I don't know how we're gonna get there.
We'll get there, mate. We'll stick together and we'll fucking get there one way or another, because we'll be here every single minute of it.
I can't wait for Kerno to come back. It's just
he would have been handy tonight.
Yeah, you know, when we're 2 minutes left, we're 2 goals down. You think back to that Western Bulldogs game. I think it was last year that he kicked like 4 in 5 minutes, and you think, do we have anyone that can do that? But,
True.
Yeah,
mate.
Right.
Great chatting with you. Thanks for the call. Thanks for the call in.
Thanks very much.
Have a good one, man. Mate. Mr. Dane Rawlings. How are you? I'm gutted, but everyone that comes on gives me something. Like I just feel connected to something because I've got everyone that comes on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I better shout out to obviously Pommy, Riley, and Pezza. He's probably on about his 25th red wine. We've been obviously going on fire in the group chat. But I just want to read you something before we start and just get your opinion on it. This was Teague yesterday. We've got a lot of games into our younger guys over the last 3 or 4 years. Correct. For us, it's about playing guys who are prepared the best and ready to go, putting out a team that gives us the best chance to go out there and win. And then we've got people coming on talking about, you know, McGovern's looked at wrong. You know, we've got to give him a chance. He was underdone. Well, so are we being lied to by the club, or are guys getting picked on reputation, or like what is it? You know, it's like, it's just like, I'm not even angry. I'm just frustrated, you know, like just feels like we're being fed this shit. And then like the last 2 weeks, rinse and repeat. It's exactly the same stuff, you know, like we were 3 goals up at 3/4 time. We kicked 1 goal 9 after the first quarter.
Ugh.
1 goal 9.
Oh my God.
And we had, I think someone said we had 42 inside 50s. And like, and I won't drum on about H. I love him. Like, he's probably the best forward we've had since Bev. But fuck, he's got some flaws. Like his kicking, like there's something going on between his ears. I don't know what it is, but
you've played at a very high level. Is it technique? What is?
Yeah, it's definitely technique, but you can just see, like, when he lines up, there's something going through his head that, because he hooks it and then the next one he shanks it. So I just don't know. But like, you know, come back to leadership. Like Doc was fantastic tonight. I'll give him credit. Walshy, for a bloke that's 19, like he was quiet early in the year, but fuck, he stands up. Like, you know, for a kid that's 19, he put the whole team on his shoulders and just said, come with me. But GWS, it was just all one-way traffic. And like, there was like 3 minutes to go. And I think it was Willow had it in the back pocket and no one fucking was moving. Even Hodgie was saying, you guys have got to run and spread. Like, there's just no one moving. Like, 9 points down and no one was presenting an offer for him. Like, what are we doing? Finals on the line. Like, I just don't understand. Honestly.
Rocco came on last week and tonight, and his point was about how everyone waits for that next person. And do you remember the Jonesy sort of? There was a miscommunication between him and I feel like it was either Willow or Wiedering, and one of them went to Shep.
Yeah,
and it was. Yeah. There's the body language there. Everyone. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, take initiative. Take the game on. Like, what are we waiting for?
Yep.
I just don't understand, and this is what Pommy says. Like, we as fans, we can't accept shit like that. We have improved, yes, but when we come up against good sides, and we've had opportunities to win against West Coast, Collingwood tonight, and it's exactly the same stuff that we're just nobody stands up. Everyone goes on about Cripps, whether he's injured, whether his head's not in it. But, look, when you're out on that footy field, you fucking go. You're not thinking about, your missus is not well, or, my mate's not doing that well, or stuff at home. You're fucking going for that footy, and you're thinking about nothing else. Look, you're not thinking about anything else subconsciously. And we're not talking about C-grade footballers. These guys are professionals on hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. And excuses like we're in a hub, the fucking sun at the Gabba the other night was coming into my eyes and stuff like that. There's 17 other clubs in exactly the same situation as we are in, and we just use the same shit every week. I just don't understand. And the thing I think that frustrates me the most is that the club is not using those excuses. They're talking about finals. They're saying we're picking the best team available. That's okay. I'm happy for you to do that, but fucking provide it. And that's what they're just not providing it. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm probably getting more angry. So I was all right waiting to chat to you. I'm probably getting more angry. Yeah. So our group chat will be pure fire a bit later.
Something just sparked in me just then because, we're all happy and relieved, more than happy. We had to improve. Yeah, let's not make any mistake about that. It wasn't about I hope we improve. We had to improve.
We have improved. Yeah.
My worry is that we're happy that we've improved, and then we get a little bit comfortable in the fact that we improved from 2019. And if we allow that to happen, and that can come across as being impatient, but if we allow ourselves to get too complacent with improvement, the 17 other clubs who are also looking to improve will go straight past us. And that's my worry.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and that's what, and, it is a fine line. The guy that you were talking to just before about, do you take out the senior players and, bring in the young guys? Like, we're going to get our pants pulled down. But, did Simo elevate himself in the last quarter? Did Betts? Did Casbolt? We can't really talk about guys like Marchbank and Charlie. It's like they haven't been in all year. So they're really, for what we're talking about in 2020, they're completely irrelevant. Yes, they may add some value next year, but they haven't added and they won't be part of the club this year. So they're really irrelevant. But are those older guys providing stuff that will take us to that next level? So
it's a tough one. It's a tough one. We're all going to be talking about off season now because I've sort of waited a little bit, but
I think, and I've said for a little while, I don't think we need to go out and get guns. We've just got to plug our holes. A small forward that applies elite pressure. Like obviously Papley's the one. Once again, in the last quarter, those fucking high inside 50s that how's Mackay going to take that? Like, he took some good crabs tonight, but it's, the first quarter was fantastic, but then last quarter, the pressure goes on. It's fucking wheel around the outside and bomb it in. It's the same stuff. And this is what we're saying about either we've got the dumbest footballers in the history of the game or, why is T picking the same guys if they're still making the same mistakes? He goes on about we win or we learn. It's taken a long time to learn.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, mate. It's been great chatting
I'll leave
with
you
you.
with that, mate. No worries.
See you later. All right.
Hey, Terry, how you going?
Michael, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Oh, not too good after that. Oh, goodness. Pretty. I think the main thing is, and the main point is, to lose the exact same way in such a short span of time. It's pretty embarrassing, to be honest. I honestly don't know like I'm not a coach. I don't know what they've done in between now and then. But I just feel the way that we lost it, honestly, like the goals that they kicked were just so easy. GWS, we just let them run over the top of us. We have blokes falling on their feet, poor communication. That's under 10 stuff. Like, yeah, honestly, like I don't know if I've just zoned in on it, but I thought that was fucking pathetic. Some of those goals that we just let go. And I think a lot of people have mentioned Sam Walsh. And I think the reason, if you look after the game, you've literally got him in the background. I see his face. He's hurting. He genuinely thought we could win that game and wanted to win that game. And then this is where we get to that culture thing. Just in front of him, I see Cade Simpson having a good old chat with Shaw, laughing and smiling. Now, I don't know. He's obviously played over 320 games. Whether or not he's earned the right to do that, I don't know. But when you're talking about a culture thing, that's the guy who's played the most games at the club. It's just a little bit scary that you've got the young 19-year-old who's got his career ahead of him, and the other guy who I know he plays like every game is his last game. He out on the field, he's tough, but maybe the younger guys look at that and think our club is always going to give us another chance, no matter the result. If we don't execute, as long as we're making some sort of effort.
Yeah.
And so I was a bit disappointed with that. And the other point is where I just don't think we're a destination club. Why would Zach Williams and Papley want to come to us? I honestly feel like we're a bit like the New York Knicks of the AFL. Every year there's all these blokes. I just don't think, like the other people we've all mentioned before, we don't have the winners at the club. A lot of players who are striving to win, they're going to want, mentoring from players who have been there and done it. So, I just think we need to be a little bit more ruthless and, just be all about winning. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done in the past. You just got to pick it based on performance, and that's it.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. I liked your point about, and it made me think, because obviously I feel like we did this performance that we just dished up tonight. I feel like it happened 4 days ago, and obviously they're looking at film and they're looking at this, and they would have been saying, all right, whoever they're talking to, when this happens, this happened here, and this is where we became unstuck. And it was just, it just felt like the same thing. So I back the club in. I back the club to know what's going on. I back the people there to know that we have to make some serious changes and all of that. It's not like I don't think we're all saying things that the club don't know. But we're hurting,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it's not the end of the world. We're going to be all right, but we're hurting because we care so much. We care more than most supporters for their club. That's just why we're such a great club. So yeah.
And so do you think players like Papley and that will want to come? Like,
for me,
I obviously want him to come, but I just feel like every year we get thrown into these talks, and I don't know if it's necessarily healthy for the club itself. In some ways, obviously we want them. If we get them, going to be better. But I just feel like we need to give people a reason. I don't know if I was the players, I'd be getting their number and talking to them every single day, try and get them down. But no,
it's a good point. We'll move on, but I really enjoyed your views tonight. You were really well balanced. Thanks for joining.
No, thanks, Terry. See ya.
Thanks, legend.
G'day.
Hey, mate. How you doing?
Patience is wearing a bit thin, but
Well, we're going to find a bit more every week, don't we?
Yeah, that's for sure. Just think the thing that stands out for me is we've been in so many games this season, and it gets to the crunch moments, and you just have the blokes that we just can't find anyone to stand up. I think it was a reflection of that again tonight. A team gets a run on. We have the lead in the last quarter and probably kicked a couple of goals in a row, and then it goes back to the centre bounce, and you think, all right, it's primed here for Cripps to break away and win a centre clearance and really put it on his back, but it just hasn't been there. I think that's where we have to look to
I suppose now for me, it's looking into 2021 and thinking about what we have to bring into the club and the type of structure we want to go with, because I don't think what we've got's good enough here at the moment.
It's hard because we haven't seen its full potential this year because the key personnel, and I'm not making excuses at all, because good teams are built on good systems, and
Yeah.
you have a plug and play sort of mentality. But to see Charlie in this group and in this system, to see Marchbank in this group and in this system, it's hard. It's hard to make these calls for me personally. I know other people have strong opinions, and I think we're going to be okay. I just think it's just an hour and a half after the bad loss. That's all. So
And I think that core group you speak about, where I think I can see the core group at the moment. You got Wiedering, Doherty down back. Whether you throw Jones in that, I think's been good. Look into the midfield: Walsh, Setterfield, Cripps. Then you look forward, you've got Mackay and Martin, and then you can throw Curnow into there next season. You've got that core group to build on. I think we're just missing a bit around the edge, and I think that's the age bracket as well. I think you look at the age bracket of our side that we had in tonight. The players who stood up, Walsh, Setterfield, and that I thought were crucial in some moments. They haven't played the amount of games. You look at the GWS midfield they had in, like Caniglio, these sort of blokes, like they're the only side, and there's a quality of opposition as well. Like I think we get a bit down. We played Collingwood last week. Could have been in the last two grand finals, lost one by a kick, and then lost the prelim by a kick. GWS is the only side that's won 4 finals out of the last 4 years in the competition. So I don't know. I think it's there, but we probably just are missing a bit of composure and a bit of leadership in key moments, which I think it's an extra season on top of that is when you want to start pushing next year. So
I love your perspective, mate. Thanks for joining.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, mate. Have a good one. That was good.
Terry.
Hey, Dad. Hey, mate.
How are you, mate?
So you look like you're just shattered, mate. How you feeling?
Questioning
your existence over here, mate.
Look, I wasn't going to call in, but I'm not going to be able to sleep if I don't fucking chat. I just want to put a disclaimer before I start. I believe in the list. I believe in the build. I believe in all that. I believe in Paddy Dow. I believe in all these kids. But what fucking pisses me off is I think we are a very, very, very dishonest fucking football club. Now, what I mean by that is the mixed messaging. How long have we fucking known that Paddy Cripps needs help in the midfield? How long have we known? 3 years? 3 fucking years at least we know that Paddy Cripps needs to chop out in the midfield, and you're telling me that we put all our chips on Matt Kennedy, a guy who couldn't get into that fucking Gold Coast team? We are such a dishonest footy club. I want to know what's going on. As well, I think it's a footy smarts issue with this side, especially with our senior blokes. Liam Jones is not part of our next flag side. What he does that is good and is great is not worth his mistakes. This bloke, we are kidding ourselves if we're thinking Liam Jones is going to be in a partnership with Wiedering on grand final day. Can you imagine the ball in his hands in a grand final, trying to switch it off halfback? I'm sorry, but it just falls into this perennial sort of loser senior core that we have. We are firstly, I think we're too nice as a club, and we're also dishonest. If we're going to get to this next level and change this perception, we have to, of all the 6 30-year-olds we have, 3 have to go. You cannot give Simpson another contract. You cannot give Betts another contract. I don't give a shit about hearing people say, oh, these guys deserve to go out on their own fucking terms. We don't have time to fucking wait until they decide to go out on their own terms. Paddy Cripps is 26 next year. He's not 23. He's 26. If you waste another year of Paddy Cripps, he's going into his prime footy, having no finals experience whatsoever. And if I'm him, I'm not trusting the club right now because we've known for years he needs a chop out in the midfield, and nothing changes.
Yeah, I mean, look, we went after some players. We did. We just didn't land them. We went after
Well, that's
Shield.
the issue, Terry. Like, that's the issue, mate. With this perception at board level, it has to change. Have we really set David Teague up with a platform for success since we appointed him? Who are his assistants?
Yeah,
Why do I seem to look at every other club and there are premiership players, 300-game superstars in there? People, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we're so dishonest and we're so disillusioned with trying to get to the top that we try and take these shortcuts. And yes, I believe in this list, but as a supporters, we have to hold this fucking club accountable because especially the people who pay money to have a membership with this club, we deserve more clarity and we deserve more clear direction in where they're taking us. Set our coach up with a winning panel. What is going on? Why has Patrick Cripps got to rely on Matt Kennedy to get fit to get a chop out? Did you see him running out on the ground today? No club treats their superstars like we do. No club does. Nat Fyfe is being chopped out in the forward line for large stretches of Freo's games because they're looking after him and they want to develop their kids. Like, it's just, I feel like we look around at all these other clubs in the league and we're the ones who are always behind. We lose the same way every week. What's being done to change how we lost the Collingwood game as opposed to today's game? Did you see anything different? I didn't.
It's very similar, wasn't it?
I saw one team kick a goal, and then I saw the boys drop their heads and crumble. And where are these fucking leaders? Where are they, mate? So I need to get it out. It's just fucking pathetic. We have to hold our club accountable. We really do. Like, it's not good enough.
Yeah, I think your emotion and passion is great. I think your points are great. I think you make some really good points. Unfortunately, I don't really know what to say back to you because I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I really do.
No, like, you don't have to say anything, but I think we have to really hold this club accountable and look at where the real issues are. The issue isn't Paddy Dow, a 20-year-old kid. The issue isn't Paulson. It's not Setterfield. It's the guys who have been there for the last 15 fucking years who have set us up. This is the problem with this club. It's not the new people who are there. It's actually embarrassing that Sam Walsh is just a star, and we have these blokes who have played 250 games who just make the same fucking mistakes as mate. Yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna move on to the next person, but
no, you go for it, mate.
You get off the mate. It's good. I'll chat to you throughout probably the weekend. Take care of yourself, yeah? We'll be all right.
Yeah, you too, man. Bye-bye.
See you, legend. Take care of yourself. The passion. I had nothing for him. Betty.
What's going on, Terry?
Oh, mate. I actually feel a little better because some time has passed and I get the beauty and the benefit of running through these, which might seem like hard work, but it's okay when you have people to share it with. You know, it's disappointing. We're going to get over it. It's going to be okay. It's not the end of the world, all of that. But I still feel like there's a bit of, accountability needed,
You can probably tell from my facial expression, man. I'm fucking shattered. As I said, man, I think the supporters and the members deserve a lot better than what they've been showing for the last 2 weeks, man, because that was fucking pathetic. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? And we're talking about GWS. They weren't any better than we were. Let's talk about it. You got Cognelia, whatever his name is, Cogs. That was one of the worst games I've ever seen him play. Him and Toby Green. The only two people that actually made a difference in that GWS side was Nick Haynes and that that forward. It was on Paulson, wherever his name was. I've got his name. Something with an R or whatever his name was. But that's the one. Yeah. Yeah, they were the only two players that made a difference, literally. And mate, they had no say in the whole game. Carlton only had two players that only played that today. It was Sam Walsh and Jacob Wiedering.
I thought Doherty. I thought Doherty was.
Oh, and Doherty. Sorry, yeah, my bad. And Doherty, yeah, exactly. But as Jade said before, the leaders, mate, the leaders got to step up. You got, mate, crucial time. We're in a lead. They're coming back. You can see the pounce. You got to hold the lead, mate. It's just like they just give up for some weird reason. Oh shit! Once they kick a goal, fuck, we got nothing to reply. We'll just sit back, you know. They just, I don't know, mate. I'm just fucking over it.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to see it 4 days after it. 4 days between each other, the same similar performance. I feel like we'll look back on the year and say that this was 20. I hope, not feel. I hope we look back on 2020 and say that was the year that the leaders had to really step up and I'm talking about the new leaders. So the Dohertys and the Crippses and the like. I feel like this is going to be that year where it was for the first time in their careers a real challenge because they've established themselves as really good players, both of them. But becoming a leader of a football club is another layer. And I think they're just going through something. It's just the next layer where it's like a bit humbling, like, oh shit, it's on us to start the successful culture. That's my hope. That is my hope. I think this is the year where that new challenge arises, and next year with the right people around them, I think that's so important personally. I think we can fix it up. I think it can be fixed really quickly. I really do.
I'm 29 years old. I haven't seen Carlton play in the grand final since 1995. I was 4 years old when they were playing the final. 99, I was only 6. You know what I mean? For a Carlton supporter to be that young, my father's not as 50 years old. He's seen 4 flags in his time, 81, 80, 87, 95. And you get to the new age, our age, the new era, the new generation. You still haven't seen Carlton playing with a granny or even elimination final pass. You know what I mean? That's what we want to see, mate. You want to see I'm blue. I die blue, mate. I'm always going to be a blue supporter no matter what. That's it to the grave, mate.
Yeah, awesome, mate. Great to chat with you. Thanks for coming on. I'll see you next time.
See you, mate.
See you, mate.
Hello.
Sibby Powell, how are you, my friend?
Good. Can I have a shout out to the Colton College of Sport people from the first year? Great group of blokes. Got to witness Colton train firsthand all the time, so awesome experience. I wanted to come on here for a while now. I think that it shouldn't surprise Colton fans how bad we've played the last couple of games. Like, we go through the same cycle of hope, and then, oh no, we had a bad game, bad quarter, maybe we'll improve next time. And then we don't, and it's the same cycle. And I don't understand why it should surprise anyone when we've been doing this for the last decade or so. You know what I mean? I know we had a rebuild, but like, I've gone for Colton all my life. I have patience, but there's a point in time where, something has to change. Yes, we've had coaches, but Teague from last year, at the end of last year, how we're losing games has not changed. It isn't like, oh, we're just in every game and we're just losing. We're still giving up big leads or big run of goals, and then, oh, okay, let's come back, and then we think we're all okay, and then we still lose. It's just frustrating as a Colton fan.
Yeah, and I know that it's obviously very emotional and people are very upset about the loss, and more than just the loss, but we're still gonna support them. I still love these boys. I still love the girl. I love the club. And nothing changes there. But we just want to win. Everyone wants to win.
Yeah, of course.
We just feel like because we've been told that this is the mighty Carlton Football Club from those before us, that winning is what we're all about, and we're just kind of like, okay, I'm going to wait a little bit more. But yeah, I think there have been some big improvements this year across the board. I really do. I think there is still more improvement to come, and that's not a surprise. So, a bit of perspective, a bit of time. I know,
of course.
That
I think there's still passengers on our team though throughout the whole list. I've never been a big fan of Murphy, but yes, he can be courageous and a game breaker at times. But so many times, especially in the last couple of weeks, he just goes half-hearted at the ball. If you put effort on the line, that's what we want from every single player. That's what you want every player to do in any form of the game. But it's just frustrating where there's so many selfish players on this team. Paulson, who I hate, One of them the takes I take from this game is Paulson giving a shepherd to Williamson, which ended up being Mackay's contested mark in the first quarter. No one else gives shepherds on this team. I've seen Gibbons do it throughout the year, but no one else wants to do that extra little bit effort for their teammate, and we're still lacking that. And it's just, I don't know if it's just we don't do that at training, but it's
Yeah.
stupid. Why don't we do that?
Yeah, no, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. It's good to hear your side of things. Hope you have a good night. Get a good night's sleep. And
Thanks,
we'll
Terry.
follow you today, mate.
Of course, of course.
See you, mate. Have a good one. Jace.
Hey Terry, how are you?
All right, mate. I'm all right. I'm getting a little bit better, to be honest. I mean, I just had a text message come through to me from a mate of mine that said we've kicked 1 goal from our last 42 inside.
Oh, mate. Don't even start. Before I get into the serious stuff, shout out to the Carioli boys who have waited for me to get on. So, Mark, Jacko, how are you, boys? Okay.
On your boy.
To the shit stuff now. Andrew before spoke really well about McGovern. I thought he sounded good when he was talking, and he was quite convincing, but McGovern has done absolutely nothing for quite a while now. And I don't know, if McGovern was playing for, say, an Essendon, I'd be laughing at him every week going, look at these absolute mugs. They paid a fortune for him, and he is not delivering week on week. I would be pissing myself at them. And I like him. I'm a fan of the guy, but he's not doing anywhere near enough. Mackay, I said early in the night, oh, look, he's going to kick 1 goal 3, 1 goal 4, and commentators will be fawning over him saying, oh, but he could have had 5 goals. He has got to be fixing his goal kicking up. He just has to. And you know, it's not easy for us to sit in the sidelines and be like, oh, it's not that hard to kick straight, but geez, you know, what was it? 1 goal 3, 4? I'm not sure.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and
I think you make the distance or miss completely.
Yep, and they said it. They said, you know, Mackay could have had 5 tonight. You know, and it's like, you know, great. He could have had 5, but he didn't. He hit 1 goal. You know, like what do we get? What do we get out of that? If he kicked 5, we win the game, but he hasn't. So you know, what can you do?
I think the frustrating thing with McGovern is that I think most of us can see. I certainly can. I think he's got so much talent and potential, but unfortunately, I think I've been saying that about too many Carlton players over my entire life, really.
Oh, well, absolutely, and that goes to another point I was going to bring up. You know, like I think we have to lose some of the sentimentality about the players that we've got. You know, like during the week, I saw a story. You know, Marchbank might come up in a trade scenario with, you know, for Tom Papley, and people going, "No, we can't get rid of Marchbank." Yes, we can. What have we seen out of Marchbank? You know, I like Marchbank, and I reckon he could be a really good player. But you know, guys like Marchbank and guys like Dow, you know, I think Dan said it before. You know, if you're not good enough, then you're gone. How long can you wait for players to fill their potential? You know, I'd take a Tom Papley in an instant. I'd trade Dow and Marchbank for Tom Papley right now. You know, there was a guy before who said, oh, look, I'm 29 and I was 4 when I saw the 95 grand final. I'm 25 now. Started watching the game in, I think, 2001. You know, we've been 2 years away for as long as I can remember. I've been hearing that for pretty much all of my footy life. And I actually find it really embarrassing that we are still banging on about an elimination final against a team that have won 2 flags since then. And we're laughing at, oh, Collingwood lost because Dom Sheed kicked a goal at the end. You know, at least they got there. What have we done? We've done nothing. You know, I think we're getting to the point now where, you know, I'm glad that we haven't made the 8 and that we're not going to make the 8 because we're just not there yet. We talk about games against Melbourne where we lost by a point, the Hawks when they rolled us. Top 8 sides don't lose those games, you know. And if we would have made the 8, you know, we wouldn't have, if we would have scraped in, I reckon we would have been embarrassed first round and we would have felt worse than how we feel now. Honestly, we weren't ready for it. And, you know, look, I don't know. I think, you know, back to my point before, we overrate our players to a degree. We look at potential and we look at what we think they could be. And someone like Paddy Dow or Lockie O'Brien or Caleb Marchbank, and we go, oh, but they will pick 3 or they will pick 10 or they'll pick whatever. So they must be good. But it just doesn't work like that. Development isn't linear and development isn't guaranteed, like you said before, I think we need to be a bit more ruthless. Look, Richmond traded Brett Deledio and they won the flag the year after. And people are looking at that and going, oh, geez, you can't trade Deledio. Richmond can't win without Deledio. Well, they could, I think you've really got to make some tough decisions from now and really look towards winning a lot more than we are in the next few years. Because at the moment, I think there's a lot of sentimentality around guys like Murph, around guys like Simo, where we've just got a lot of loyalty to them. And, I think we need to start making those tough decisions and go, do we want to win or do we want to be the nice club? You know? So, I reckon we've really got to start looking at that kind of thing and go in a different direction with this stuff because honestly, with Teague, I think we're likable and we're winning enough, but we're not winning enough to get ourselves, right up there into the picture. We're winning enough to stay in that, 12 to 7 or 6 position, but we're not going to get anywhere if we keep going the path that we're going.
Yep. No, that's fair enough, mate. Very well articulated, I must say. Thanks a lot for that.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers. Have a good one. All right, guys, we've got about 10 minutes to go because Shad has a family with children and responsibilities, unlike myself. So we've almost gone for 2 hours. We've got about 10 minutes to go. I'm going to get through as quickly as possible whoever's left over. So thanks for those who have waited. I'm going to ask for one question from each of you, one after the other. Just your number one takeaway, and then we'll go from there. So, Shad, if you want to bring in the next person, I'll be nice and quick.
Terry, how are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah, give me your number one from the game.
Number one takeaway from the game. This is something no one has spoken about tonight. The fans. I saw this comment from a Facebook page, and I needed to come onto this. I've been here for an hour, 46 minutes now, waiting my turn to speak about this.
I don't choose who comes on, by the way. I don't even know who's going to be on next. So
no stresses at all. We need some real fans. We need some positive fans. I don't know how on earth we're going to move forward in this rebuild without committed supporters. Quick shout out to all those fans that say that all those fans when Jack Noons kicks the winning goal, oh, Jack Noons for Prime Minister, all this bullshit. And then tonight they say, oh, Paulson sacked, retire Eddie Betts. Fuck you. Honestly, fuck you. I wear this jumper with fucking pride. Seeing all these fans say all these negative things about the players, the staff, the coach, it hurts me so fucking much. Only the real fans come out during losses.
Yeah.
And tonight, I'm an hour 47 in, not one person has come out and said how much they miss going to the MCG in front of 60, 70,000 singing the theme song. Like, it kills me that we can't do that this year. It kills me that we cannot do that this year, especially in a year where we are contending for finals. It hurts a lot.
We improve a little bit more like we did this year, next year, and we're back at stadiums. Can you imagine the roar of that joint? Imagine Melbourne, we were rocking at the MCG on a Sunday afternoon.
Round one, Richmond, 100,000 people. I think it's a Carlton home game as well. And then don't quote me on that one. Just some tips from the night. I think the forward 50 entries probably weren't good enough. I think one goal out of 42 inside 50. So we just need to sharpen up on that. Few things that we could do. Maybe put Samo in the forward line. Bit of an outsider one here. He's got a beautiful kick. I'll maybe try it out. Maybe try it out in the last 3 rounds because I don't like Samo in the back line. You've spoken about it. I know you don't like Samo in the back line. He's good in the midfield. I think maybe try him in the forward line. Potentially.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe. No, I like it.
A real hard one.
Thank you a lot for coming on and giving your point of view, because you're right, it has been very emotional and a bit negative, but I mean, the floor is there for anyone to come and add their piece. So good on you for coming on and bring in some positivity. I think I might. It's good that you're towards the end because we could end on a high note. So thanks again. Yeah, no, it's good. Come on again next week and bring it again.
Of course. Stay safe, mate. Have a good one.
Likewise, brother. Take care of yourself. That was good. That was very much needed. All right, Paddy Lalamo, mate. Talk to me about your number one takeaway from the game.
Look, I have a few, but that was a decent little speech from old mate just before. So I was going to come on all negative, and then it was sort of like, well, fuck, he's pretty much right. Like we're all in the stands, we're all here for the same reason. We all want success. But just a few things. Like I'm 27 years old. I was 2 years old, 95. We're waiting for success. It's just the same system over and over again, and we're already 5 years into the rebuild. That just worries me. And love him, Simo, love him, but we are not going to go anywhere if we continue having these blokes in our side, taking us forward. I'm looking at the next step where we should be looking at the SPS. And sorry, but he's just soft. He's soft. He is. And he's been soft since we picked him up. And we've played him in the forward line, no good. In the back line, no good. Maybe the guts, but maybe he just doesn't have it in him. Maybe he's currency for trade. And we need to be ruthless. We need to be ruthless. Like I'll look at Daisy Thomas that wore his jumper up with pride last year. And he got the tap on the shoulder, who had a much better season than Simo this year.
Yeah.
And it's like, maybe we need to bite that.
Yeah.
Maybe we need to bite the bullet. We had 42 inside 50s for one goal in the second half. That's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, no, fair enough, mate. Thanks so much for joining. Appreciate your thoughts, man.
Cheers, mate.
See you, Ledge. Take care.
I don't like coming on after losses, mate, but
it's becoming a bad trend, Paolo.
Shit, isn't it? I've even made. I had to wear this before I came on. I just went for a lie down, mate. We need to pray to every God and every Jesus, I think. No. Look. I mean, I think the one takeaway from the game, and we spoke about it last week, mate, is that our way. When it's not going our way, what happens? Wasn't going our way in the last quarter. Boom. We crumbled.
I have it written down in the fourth quarter. There was 8 minutes and 7 seconds to go when that moment arrived for me, when I said, okay, there it is. There it is. They've kicked 2 in a row. There's the moment. And 8 minutes and 7 seconds to go. And then when it continued to not come, I think a minute after that, I was like, it's not happening.
No. It's just bloody frustrating, mate. What do you do? It's just same thing week in, week out for the last, couple of weeks. Cough up a lead and they just can't wrestle it back. I think there's been a bit of an overreaction from a lot of people, though. It's just, so we just need to calm the farm and, and I think a few other people were saying, you can't ping it on the young blokes, and which you can't. I mean, but they all cross the line and they're all, they're all footballers, they're all men. But, I think a few of the older blokes in the leadership group, they've got to look at themselves and think, when this time comes, when the opposition put the heat on us, where are we? So, disappointing, but what can you do, mate? On to Sydney, on to Adelaide, and on to Brisbane, and hopefully a big off season for us.
Hopefully, we're not talking about the same thing in 5 days, but yeah, man, appreciate
it. Chin up, mate. Chin up. You've been going for a while, mate, so keep at it.
We'll do. I've got a couple more to get through, but thanks for coming on, brother. I'll speak to you.
Mate. No worries. See you, mate.
See you, mate. All right. We're starting to get a bit more positive now. It's good.
How's it going, mate?
Good, mate.
How are you? Yeah. I'm flat. It's going to be 2 weeks of just like getting up in the morning, going, "Where did it all go wrong?"
Yeah,
and it hurts you, But if they're like to answer that question you're asking, there's just a lack of synergy. I think that's the biggest thing. Synergy throughout the ground. And I think Teague needs to have a conversation about that with the boys. if you saw like when before the game even started, there was Doherty speaking to some guys, Cripps speaking to others, and Doherty was speaking to some forwards as well. And how can you have synergy when you've got you've got two captains saying the same thing, but like, you know what I mean? Like there's no like togetherness, and you can see that in the game.
Are you saying you feel like there should be one captain, not two?
I'm saying that there needs to be better communication throughout the entire side. Like our back run ends when we kick it into like a 50 that doesn't know how to receive it. And then our defense fails when we don't even have like everyone's pushed so far up. There's 2 loose GWS players running around,
Yeah.
Like Dan said in his video, we don't have a guy like roaming the like in a contest. We don't have a guy behind to like get that crumb if it falls back. But there's a GWS player there.
Yeah.
There's no like connection.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
I said I thought Doherty did a pretty good job of that particular thing tonight. If I'm honest, I thought.
Yeah.
I thought a lot has been said about our leaders tonight. I was actually really pleased with Doherty's game as a leader and in the moment and all of that personally. But I mean,
I'd say I think he stood up pretty well today.
Yeah.
But when you've got 22 guys playing and 19 of them aren't clicking, and that was it happened in the first quarter, in the first half, and in the second half it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Just like last week. It could be because it was the 4-day turnaround. But that was the same for GWS. Or it could be because like the lockdown for the boys is just getting to them. But I don't know. Like I think Teague needs to have a conversation with them about this and just train it into them. When you got a guy running off his man to do a 2-on-1 and he just hand pull pass and then a GWS player hand passes it over him when there didn't need to be a 2-on-1. That's basic stuff. Though.
Your point is taken.
I do love the boys. I don't want to be I don't want to be considered one of those negative Carlton supporters, but I do love the boys. And who the fuck did we think that we were going to be here last year or 2 years ago?
Fair enough, mate. Good on you. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, buddy. Go the Blues.
Thanks. Go Blues, mate. You know it always.
Hey, Tez, how you going?
Good, Nick. What's going on, mate?
Yeah, a lot is going through my head right now.
One main takeaway from the game.
So I just want to. I'm just going to be quick because I know you're probably tired right now. You've had a long session, been 2 hours nearly now. But I just want to say, it's been 2 weeks in a row where last week halftime didn't kick a goal, and then this week, like tonight, 1 goal after quarter time. So I just want to know, like, it has to be a mental thing. It has to be a mental thing because what I'm seeing right now is like we can show our best footy is finals, 100%. There's no doubt. Like there were some passages of play today I saw. The one where we kicked it like from a kick out. We kicked it to the other end of the ground. I think Fish nearly got onto it. But we've shown we can move the ball really well. But then there's a mode where we just go into our shells and let the other team just play their game. And I think that's the problem right now. It's the mentality. That's what I think, Terry. That's what I'm just going to leave it at that.
Do you have faith that it's going to turn around?
Yeah, I've always said, like, this year is much different to last year and previous years. I've said it this year all along. Obviously, Teague's, you can tell Teague's telling to play a risky type of football. We're playing risky. I notice when we take marks, we try to play on, we try to give the hands off. So they're taking risks, which is great. I love that about our game. But it's a mental thing. We just switched off in the last quarter, went into our shells. We shut ourselves at the end. But I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just trying to be a bit more realistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, everyone's entitled to do whatever they say, whatever they want. People can be positive. People can be negative. People can be constructive. Like, no one's here to tell you who you should and shouldn't be. But, no, I like the points, mate. I think you've done a really good job summarising that. Anyone at home who wants to have a bit of a laugh, go check out behind Back to the Bench TV on YouTube because the lads do a good job, mate. So keep it up.
You too, mate. Good night.
Guys, see you, bruv. All right, Bradley.
How are you going?
Good, mate. Give me your number one takeaway from the game.
Number one takeaway would be I don't think we find that the moving the ball forward consistently enough throughout the whole game.
Okay.
And I think that I think it's a mental thing. Seriously, I think it is. After all these different comments and stuff, and I just think that it's a mental thing, and I think it's just when that thing happens when there's just that when the other team has that passage of play. I just think that's it. We just think back to we still have that losing mentality a bit, and I think we just have to get rid of that a bit.
Yep. Good point, mate. Good point. Thanks very much for sharing.
Can I just say one more thing? I know it's quick. I'm just so sick of all these Carlton supporters hanging shit on all like the players and stuff, and I'm just think like come on, like you have to support your club a bit better than that, and just I just think it just really annoys me when I see all these comments. Like it's so funny when we win, it's like all these Carlton fans like that was fantastic and stuff, and then when we lose, like it's so negative, and I think like coming into the season, I don't think like we were just waiting to see improvement, and that's what we got, and then now once we have the chance of or we can we have the chance of finals. People were saying, "Oh, that's like they expect a lot from us when they have that. They can see the finals hope there, and that's what really annoys me. And then the negative comments come. So yeah.
No, it's a good point, mate. It's a good point. We are emotional. It's been a frustrating year for a lot of people who live in Victoria and whatnot for whatever reason. But let's not pretend like this hasn't happened before coronavirus anyway. So. Yeah, I think it's going to come from we have to take accountability as people to improve that. I actually feel, I must say, throughout the 2 hours we've been doing it, we've gone from really angry and then towards the last probably 15, 20 minutes, practicality starts to creep in and we've sort of come a little bit more positive. So good stuff with your message. Thanks very much for joining, mate, and hopefully speak to you.
Yep.
See you, Ledge. Jacob.
Hello, Terry.
Thanks for being patient, mate. Sorry to keep you waiting.
No, that's all right.
Give me your number one takeaway from the game.
I think just our ability to know when to play attacking footy and defensive footy. I think it was 14 minutes left. We're still up by 3 goals. And we're playing defensive footy in their back half. I think we need to get down the line, get it in our half, play territory footy. Because we showed tonight if we got it locked in our forward line, it was hard for them to transition out and get forward.
Yeah, I thought we did that pretty good, to be honest. I know we've lost and it hurts and all that. I thought we did a really good job of keeping it in our forward half. It just seemed like all the hard work was undone a little too easy, but I still think there's a lot to take out of that performance. But unfortunately, we get judged on wins and losses now, according to what I guess the club have told us and Teague and all of that. So, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. We're going to be fine. But, we've got it. It's just unfortunate to have this conversation after 4 days ago we did the same thing. That's all.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Mate, thanks for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you, Ledge. I think that's it.
Hey, that's it. The waiting room is finally empty.
Oh, mate.
Good job, buddy.
Thanks, mate. Thank you very much. Guys, you at home, I know that I talk for 2 hours, or I do the interviews for 2 hours, but Shad sits behind there and does all the stuff behind the scenes. He makes sure everyone gets in. And so, mate, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yep, my pleasure. Look, I just want to say a couple of things about the game. Firstly, let's just quickly talk about some highlights from tonight. Rocco comes in and nails it again. Rocco is becoming a cult figure. People are going to be screaming for Rocco to have his own channel soon. And we had Jad come in, get very, very emotional. That was pretty cool. And then we had Alex come in with the positives. So, mate, great show. But just quickly, just want to say a couple of things about the game. Firstly, I want to defend Jones because I think Jones is an absolute legend. And I think the people that are knocking him need to go back and watch all of the games he's played this year, count all the spoils he's done, and then compare that to the amount of times he's stuffed up. And he has stuffed up majorly a couple of times, and that kind of stands out. But on the whole, Jones is he's a miracle the way he's turned around his career. So Jones is awesome. Other thing I want to say quickly is McGovern. There's personality clashes with McGovern. I feel like McGovern needs to be the central kind of focus in the forward line, and I feel like it needs space. And I think with how we're playing and trying to lock it in the forward line, we're also locking all the defenders in the forward line as well, which isn't giving him any space. In fact, it's giving none of our forwards space. So I don't know if that style of plays is working, and I think there's some personality clashes there as well. And especially when Charlie comes back, having Harry, Charlie, and McGovern in there is going to be a real problem. If I had to let any of those three go, it would be Harry. He can play like a beast, but he just doesn't finish unless he's kicking a hook from the boundary. He doesn't finish. And the other thing I want to say, last thing, is that what I've noticed, which is a real positive, is that we have multiple styles of play now, where we can actually slow it down, compose, and chip the ball around and slowly gain territory. But we can also break the lines as well. If you look over the last few years, we haven't been able to do that. So to have that extra arrow in the quiver is awesome. We just got to learn how to finesse it. But a big problem right now is the forward line that has to be fixed. Because there's big problems there. I mean, I don't know how many forward entries we had in total. Do you know?
I don't know exactly off the top of my head. I got a message before that we had over 40. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. But I think it's the hallmark of you look at the defensive line, the midfield, and the forward line. The defensive line, not many players have missed games. The midfield, not as many players have missed games. And that forward line has chopped and changed all year because of injuries and all sorts of things. And it probably goes to show why we can't get that connection. But there's something with that mid-forward entry. Sometimes we forget that we're not in transition all the time and we don't know how to lower the eyes. And, as I'm saying it, I'm having this epiphany, yes, this is just where we're at and next year it's going to be better. But then the other side of me says, no, you can't just assume it's going to be better until you see it, kind of thing. So, yeah, we're going to be okay, I think. I think.
We'll get there. Like I said to you, I think in a message earlier, I just can't wait until we start putting teams away like I know we can.
Yeah.
Like watching the game. Yeah, look, watching the game tonight, I was watching it thinking, gee, we are dominating this.
Yeah.
And then you look at the scoreboard and you're like, hang on a second, we're only 10 points up.
Yeah.
Like, where's all the reward for effort? It's just not there. But we'll get that and we'll start putting teams away and then we'll get that winning culture. So exciting times ahead, but tonight sucks.
Yeah, sure does.
I'm going to let you say goodbye, mate.
No worries, mate. Thank you very much. Thanks, everyone,
Hang on, Terry. Your audio cut out. Try again.
Can you hear me? Okay. I'm assuming
Yes, you can.
That's it, guys. Games.
Hey, mate, just wave. Actually, do it now while I'm here because we can hear you now. Go.
You can hear me now. Okay. Well, I'll just do it from here. You can stay while I say goodbye, mate. Don't be shy. Look, I think that the point I want to make is that there's a few things that this exercise has taught me. I said last week that I was a little worried about doing these after a loss because we can get very emotional. But end of the day, it's on us. It's on us as supporters and people to improve ourselves. And I thought we did that as the show kept going along. Emotions happen. We didn't get too personal. That's the main thing, especially with this club, because we can get a little personal. We don't need to do that. So congratulations to everyone for your efforts. It was good to get all the opinions, passionate, negative, positive, whatever everyone's got to say. And that's what this is for. So with that, videos will be out tomorrow morning. We're going to get a good sleep. I've got a whole weekend of NBA 2K21 to get around. And as always, guys, go the Mighty Blues. Peace out.
Go the Blues. Woohoo.